folks, and welcome back to the channel. So before we jump into this one, consider subscribing, consider dropping a like, drop a comment as well. If you're trying to get my attention in the comments section, do note that I'm always around for like the first hour, and I do tend to respond when given the notifications for people commenting. So if you want to grab me, I'm normally around once I've posted my video for like the first hour. So we have got a lot of stuff going on. I'm still a little bit under the weather, as you can tell. My voice is still a little bit croaky, no schlups recently, but we will get back into flow. But like I said, there's a lot going on. Now, what I wanted to cover this morning in this video is the upgrade. Now, something the community don't actually know, a very slim amount of you may know this, is they can do bug updates and they don't need to propose them. They don't need any permission to do these kind of updates. And these updates can lead to issues, to put it in short. You know, we had an issue recently where they did a bug fix and it absolutely trashed a lot of the validators. A lot of us had to go in. We had to do some work to get back online and not become jailed and all of these things. So with them putting the chat up and then leaving it for some time, and then all of a sudden, you know, a few things have changed. They put it straight up for vote. It's not really good. But something that is very common now with these updates, and I think as time goes on, you're going to start to understand this more and more, because I'm seeing people saying, you know, well, what about Astroport? What about swaps? What about all of these different things? The L1 team don't cover anything like that. And they're definitely not going to be doing anything like that. Now, what we're paying them to do is to just do bug fixes, to keep the system in a consistent parity state. We're always going to need to reach parity. The second this upgrade goes live, they're going to need to start working on the next upgrade. Thus, always needing these consistent upgrades, which more or less, right, when you dive into them, you look at them for exactly what they are. They're just bug fixes. They're just bug fixes and a load of nonsense that means absolutely nothing to the community. And there's a lot of stuff in here that it shows that they're focusing a lot on pleasing Hexagon, but not so much our legacy side of things. And I think this could possibly put everything out of step. So all of the trusted systems that we all use and utilize could be possibly put out of step for 10 to 12 weeks again, like before. We've already been through this once, waiting for TFL to have to put the work in to do these upgrades. It's not feasible for us to have to go through that again. And every time they do this, they're forcing the community into a corner to say, hey, you should go and use Hexagon stuff because we're the one, you know, it's not fair. It's not fair that we should be forced into a path clearly a lot of us don't want to walk, don't want to trust. It's one of those ones. So, you know, if you want to see things like Astroport and all of these different things get fixed, you want to see the on-ramps, off-ramps, you want to see all of these cool things, right? You're not ever going to get it because you're consistently paying this L1 team, Hexagon, and anyone else who wants to come on board, right? You're just paying them a wage and just throwing it away. We don't question anything. We don't get a second opinion. You know, if I was to take my car to a mechanic and they gave me a price, I would have gone and got a price from another mechanic. Just because of the simple fact that, you know, there's con artists out there. There's people that are out there to fleece you down for everything that you've got. And a lot of the times when I've done that, I've gone and got a cheaper price. And it just goes to show, right, we don't do those sort of things here in the LUNC community. And we don't, yeah, it's really, really, really bad that ultimately you want all of these different things, right? You want and their argument would be, well, we don't have any control over Astroport. No, you're right, you don't. But you have a responsibility to this blockchain to ensure that you've got lines of communication open with Astroport, and you're letting them know, we're doing these updates, we're going to need you to do this, you to do that. These people, they're just full bull in a china shop, kick everything over and hope, very much hope for the best each time. And that's starting to show. That was with that bug fix that made a load of different validators go down. That made me start to think. So as much as, yeah, I want to see this update and yeah, I want to see the chain move forward, and, you know, I'm not against this, it brings a lot of things into question with the Lunc community. Like, do you want to be in this situation of getting this every 3 months and never getting anything. The system's not working, but, working very hard, as we can see here, to ensure that there's compatibility with Hexagon stuff. And it's just, we're being totally ignored as a community. They're doing what they want, and they're getting a positive response from a lot of different people. And they're thinking to themselves, hey, we can run this blockchain. We can do what we want. A validator's tried to remove funding. The community didn't want to remove it. No one else wanted to get involved. We've got the upper hand here. So we'll just continue to do what we want. And that's kind of the image that has been portrayed going forward. So with these kind of fleece downs, which is exactly what I see this, it's, we're pushing so far ahead. We're paying so much money just to keep the lights on, never developing anything new, never ever develop any systems that become self-serving, never sitting there and questioning things and going, hey, maybe the team's too big, maybe this person's not doing enough work. But it's just all unmonitored. We've got no one that we can trust, to do the right thing anymore. We've been shown that, to these paid teams, governance simply is not law. For them, it's not law, period. When it comes to funding, who's it down to get together the rest of the funds? Well, it's down to you as a community. This is your fault. It's your problem. The way they see it is, you, right, have got bills to pay. So you must go and get a job to pay those bills. And that's not how this works. It shouldn't be put on you as the community to cough up more funding or come up with more ways to bring up more funding. It's got to a ridiculous point now where all of these people are actually inside each other's pockets. They're all very buddy-buddy, and they all come from Terra Rebels. The even worse thing is Vin himself is, a lead developer on a different blockchain, right? Other developers working on other blockchains. Do any of the validators even know any of this? I highly doubt it. Whenever I speak to a old guard validator, they're always totally shocked when I'm like, yeah, this is what's happened. They're like, really? Has it? I'm like, yeah. You show them and they're like, oh my God, I never knew this. And it's like, this is how out of step a lot of different people are. Everything moves so fast. And a lot of the times, right, like I've been saying, is they start to pick up that they're getting close to their payment schedules and they need to start behaving. They need to start producing more stuff. And what you're really getting is 2 months of nothing and then a month of them trying to make themselves look good. And I'm just not buying it. Like I said, everybody is replaceable. Everybody at this point is replaceable. And I would rather not have people that are all buddy-buddy with each other, have got friendly commitments to each other and owing each other, backdoor deals. I don't want to see that. I want to see a team that if they are getting paid, they're developing for this blockchain. They have a favored nations contract that they sign, which means they can't go and work or develop anywhere else. This is crypto, right? If our lead developer is developing on another blockchain, that should speak mountains. The funniest thing with all of this is you never see any of this kind of stuff ever get brought up in news articles. It's just more and more junk about junky proposals and this, that, and the other. You get a couple of good proposals here, articles here and there, but that's about it. And it's just, they miss all of the important stuff. And I think they do it for a reason, because they don't specifically want to target people. But this is LUNC. This is decentralized finance, right? It shouldn't come down to a central authority to be making decisions for our blockchain. It all has to stop. So like I was saying, right, if you want to live the rest of your lifetime in LUNC before it finally collapses with just consistent updates every 3 months that lead to nothing, then go ahead, keep supporting this stuff, keep supporting the people behind it. But once the chain collapses, you need to sit there and ask yourselves, why did this all happen? How did this all collapse? Why did we not see the signs? Why did we not heed the warnings? And for those who are sitting there thinking, yeah, this is definitely where we need change, HCC. This is definitely where you're kind of right. And I kind of back you on this, because ultimately we're the ones who can make these people held accountable. For the simple fact, right, the United Vision brings in a KYC that is optional. Who's to say in the future you couldn't just put a proposal up and get that thing put to mandatory on vote through governance as a decentralized decision across the active set. And it really comes down to simple stuff like that. And I think a lot of people are starting to see the threats. They're starting to see that two people, right, that get paid nothing, have got full-time jobs, we've got our own lives, we've got our own, we've got families. But yet we're still able to do all of the stuff. We're still able to do our projects. I still do my YouTube channel. But we're able to do all of that. And it's just two people that are dedicated and believe in this blockchain, believe what it can be. And I've believed this ever since I got involved with it. But like I said to everyone, I always thought someone would come forward to save this blockchain, but they never did. We got false profit after false profit after false profit. And what did each one of those people then go and do? When I made a blockchain. Why do we think the L1 would be developing on another blockchain? This is called a failsafe, my friends, right? This is called, I don't believe in what I'm doing. I'm just getting paid. I'll just do the bare minimum. Once it collapses, boom, jump over to the chain that I'm developing. So there's all these different things that I think we need to take into account as we lead up to this next quarter, which is ever so important. A lot of you are probably wondering, when's the next quarter, Jay? Just go to the past proposals. All you need to look at is when did they put up their last proposal, and then figure out from there. Each quarter is around 3 months long. Easy maths. Folks, as for this, the likelihood is I need to do a little bit more diving into it. I need to do a bit more checking. I need to ask some questions, and I need to ensure that this isn't going to cause a break in the whole chain again. And it's not going to mess a load of different things up, because these sorts of things don't, as a community, when the chain goes down, goes into a hole, or goes through anything, it's very simple for, just a holder to sit there and go, boom, I'll sit on my hands, bish, bash, bosh, done. Oh, it's all back online. People like us have to go behind the scenes. We have to do a load of stuff. Last time it was only about 20 minutes work, so it wasn't too much, but ultimately it ruins your day, because wherever you are, you've got to stop. You've got to either get your laptop out, or you need to make home to your home station, and you need to do everything. So it's not always that easy. And if they keep doing these things, it's going to show how rookie of a development team we're dealing with. And I think that's something that's become more and more apparent to myself, because ultimately all of this time, right, they said in a worst case scenario to me, it would take 3 months to build that wallet. Well, it's been a month and a half. So we would have been 50% towards the wallet already. Our own infra, everything that we'd own ourselves, we would be 50% there already. But yet, instead, we got this. Folks, stay safe, stay humble, have a really nice day, and I'll catch you in the next one.